Items are a huge part of Animal Jam. Whether you're trying to get a leg up into trading scene or just want them for customization, clothing and den items are a large reason why a lot of people still play this game all this time later. That being said, there's obviously a lot of ways to get items, like trading, gifting, even redeeming codes. However, before any of these features were introduced onto the game, all items were obtained in the one same way, through stores. There's over 25 shops you can see throughout the map of Jamaa, with varying amount of items in each store, some housing over 170 unique items for sale, and some of them only listing one. Not only that, but the prices vary per item too. I'm sure we all know the comically cheap 45 gem necklace that everybody uses as fodder for trading between their alt accounts. Then the glorious 10,000 gem gold brick, which to this day remains to be the most expensive item in the game, I'm pretty sure. Well, not accounting for that stupid 50 diamond toilet anyway. With all being said and done, there's a lot of items for sale in the game, but how much exactly would it cost if one very sane person were to buy every single item in the game? Not only that, but would it all fit onto one account? I'm sure HHQ themselves definitely don't intend for you to buy every item in the game and probably wouldn't want you to. They more so intend you to pick and choose which items you want and in which variants, but screw that. Today we are gonna get greedy and we're gonna buy every single item in every shop in the entire game. Look what's become of me. I've bought membership. I've been so headstrong on being non-member, you know, a little non-member bunny in my videos, but there's a few videos I want to make that actually require me to have membership, at least temporarily anyway. So here we are now, including today's video where I'm going to go through every store you see here from top to bottom, every single store, and buy every single item in the game. Why? That's actually a very good question. I don't need to do this. I just think it'd be funny. Now, I think it's kind of at least a little bit known on the channel that I'm usually poor in gems on these accounts, but I've been doing some grinding recently, and you know, we're a little stacked here in the currency department now. Even the diamonds, I stocked up on those too. You don't even want to know how many times I had to transfer gems over from different accounts or recycle rims. I think I recycled about 400 rims just to do this, so please watch the video is what I'm trying to say. I don't really know what order to go in for this. I guess I'll just start from up here and then end down there, so we'll just kind of go down like this if you see my cursor. I will say though, I'm not gonna buy every diamond item just because you know, I have 800 diamonds, but I'd rather not spend it on what's usually for sale in these shops anyway. Call it a cop-out, I don't know, but I personally just I can't warrant wasting diamonds over gems. I can waste gems, but wasting diamonds is where we cross the line. So this is the first shop here we technically have. It's the fossil table, and for clarification as well, I'm only going to buy the base variant of each item. I'm buying each item as is. I don't think I'd have enough inventory space to legitimately buy every single item in every color. While this is something I used to do on like an old channel of mine, I pretty much would buy every single item in every store in every color as like a video series. I recently did it in like 2014, I think, with the summer carnival. It was a really fun thing to do back then. And hey, you know what? Doing that actually paid off, because a lot of those summer carnival items back then, they're worth a pretty penny now. So you know, I got the last laugh for those that called it stupid back then. But here we have all the Shivir show items as well, as you can see here. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough inventory space for this. I just realized I only have 105 slots left, so I might have to recycle some items throughout the video. And also my outfit is like beyond ruined, but I mean, this is still kind of cute, right? Oh, I didn't even account for this shop, the Hall of Animals. You have all the deer banners, or all the animal banners anyway, I should say, and then you have every country banner as well. Jeez, man, it's like, I forgot they added this low-key, but I do like these banners a lot. I like how they made the kind of ones that didn't return to stores rare as well. I think that was pretty cool of them. I thought they re-released those as well, considering they made them rare, but no, they just made them rare. I think there is 2 direwolf banners though. It's like one rare one, one non-rare one. Do I have one of those on here? I do. The rare direwolf banner. And oh, it's a little bit different for some reason. Why is that different? It's legit just a stripe is orange and one stripe is blue here. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like another clone item situation, which I made a video on all those kind of items a while back. We have all the animal banners now, but I'm pretty sure you can click here, you can get, yeah, all the country flags still, so we can buy all of these here. Some of the pirate flags and phantom flags, and then the normal country flag. flags, so we can just buy them all here. I used to all the way back in like whenever this shop actually came out. I don't remember. I think it was 2012. I used to have a den full of all of these, which back then it took a while to get gems. So, you know, it was something I was proud of back then anyway, and people thought it was cool. So there's another piece of trivia about me, I guess. Got the Portugal flag there. Got Russia, Switzerland, South Korea, Uruguay, Spain, United States, Canada. I thought these were in alphabetical order for a second, but then I kind of realized, okay, they're not in alphabetical order. Hey, we have Ireland. This is where I'm from, if you can't tell. A lot of people think I'm American, which it probably doesn't help that my channel is set to America, so people probably think I'm from America. People think I sound American as well. I like even, oh, Israel. I'm gonna skip over that one. Hungary, Egypt, but people think I'm American. I don't know if I sound American. Well, I guess people think I sound American. I think that's where it all stems from. I used to sound a lot more Irish anyway in my older videos. If you go back to them, even on this channel, you can see hear a stark difference in my voice even from like 3 years ago compared to now. I think I speak a lot more clearer as well, and I don't know. I think I just lost my accent anyway completely. Got Venezuela there, Slovenia. There's a lot of countries, man. I didn't think they'd have this many of them in the game. I know there's some flags that don't have their country flags in the game. I think that's a little controversial, Animal Jam, but okay. Iceland, Guyana, Angola, Barbados, Macau, Nepal, got Bali. I feel like I'm just reading them all off here just to make sure like you see that I'm actually buying all of them. But oh no, we got Jordan here, Latvia. God, man, it's just a lot more flags than I thought there were. Maybe they added more of them into the game than previous. Oh, there we go. We hit the end. So I think I started this with 1,000 items. I'm now at 1,157 den items. So a lot of flags, to say the least. But now we can move on to here, which is Treetop Gardens. It's their last day for these, so it's good that I'm doing this. I'm recording this at the end of August, by the way, if you need to know. I haven't recorded in about a week and a half, 2 weeks at this point. It's the first time I'm recording in about a week or two. And it's just because I've been off, you know, the game and stuff, you know, dealing with personal stuff. I kind of put out a member post about it there a while ago, but, you know, didn't really want to be playing Animal Jam of all things while that was going on. No offense to Animal Jammers or anything like that. We got the Phantom Topiary. I thought that was unreleased for the longest time. I don't know why, but okay. We have the topiaries here. Some of these topiaries are weird. You know, some of them were like non-member at one point, made member again. I think I talked about that in a video like last year at this point. But a lot of these are cool. I wish they would kind of go for the approach of like this kind of topiary, like make it look like a bush, just trimmed down into the animal rather than putting them on a branch for some reason. I'm a fan of these kind of style of topiaries, but I also do not like how some of these are inconsistent. Why is the lynx and the owl non-member, but like the actual non-member animals like the giraffe and the penguin, they're not non-member. The raccoon was non-member at one point and got turned into member. So I don't know what it is with topiaries that make them so picky on which is non-member and which is what, but you know, here we go. We have all of the topiaries now. At the end of the video, I'm gonna put all of the things in the den. See how many I can fit in a den anyway, or maybe put one item of each shop in a den. I think that would be cool. And by the way, I did buy all these, so I don't need to buy those. We have the den store here. I already have all these though. I think I'm close to having like every den on this account. I'm like trying to put them in order of like season and stuff. There is some I'm missing right now just because I wasn't using this account earlier this year, but you know, I do have them. There is a shop up there I do need to get. So I'm gonna turn into my owl here, my level 30 owl. I know it's kind of funny. I made a video or YouTube short the other day kind of talking about level 30 animals, and lo and behold, I have one of them. But we have all of the items here. I think this item is so cool, by the way. It's like rims, and then oddly enough, a gold legendary glove, which doesn't have a rare tag on it, but it kind of signifies, and Jim knows this item is rare. We have rare wings as well, which is a leap year item. But this shop was always pretty cool to me. I always thought it was pretty cool. But boom, we're back down here at the bottom here. we have the art studio next. I believe there is gem variants of these items. I don't know why there's diamond variants as well, but I'm gonna much rather opt to buy the gem variants over the diamond variants ones because, you know, saving diamonds is much more needed in this economy, that's for sure. We have epic wonders here, so this is also the last day for some of these stuff, but the king bee stuff and the queen bee stuff, I think that was for National Bee Day, I did not get, though. It's gonna be pretty good. Now, some of these items, they're on clearance, so it's good that I'm buying them now type of thing. And then we got like golden stuff here too. This is where it's gonna hit a dent in my my gem count. I don't actually know if this is gonna be enough gems, by the way. 1.8 mil I think I started with. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be enough, but you know, the kind of alternative idea to this video is gonna be like, how much gems would you actually need to buy everything in the game, and exactly how long is this gonna take, because I'm already at 13 minutes on the recording. I don't know how it's gonna look when I trim it down, but here we have the 10,000 gold brick. I think that might be the most expensive item in the game. I'm not too sure, but you know, Epic Wonders always got some expensive items in it, so we got the den items finished there, and we're moving on to clothing items again. You know, it's probably the worst time of year to pick to do this because, you know, a lot of seasonal items in store, to say the least. But wow, this outfit is like turning out to be absolutely horrendous. I hate this so much. I'm intrigued to see how this is gonna look at the very end anyway, that's for sure. But this is just really funny anyway to see it turn out this way, you know, like produce these kind of nonsensical looking outfits that you definitely would not see. Okay, no one is dressing up like this besides me right now, but there is actually a lot of items for clothing in Epic Wonders than I originally thought, but god damn, there's a lot in here. Fun story about the diamond necklace. I remember I bought one of those back in the day and somebody traded me a red fox hat for it, like in 2012. That's when fox hats were still pretty rare, so got a good deal back then, and no, I didn't scam them or trick them into doing it. They just did it on their own accord. I don't know why. But now that I clarified that, people are probably gonna think, nah, they definitely tricked them into it. Like, no, they just traded it. And we have all the animal hats here. These are always pretty fun, even though they're kind of weird that they have a bunny hat for a bunny. You know, you're kind of wearing your own kind on your head, unless it's like made out of fabric. It probably is made out of fabric, let's be real. But the eagle one looks a little too real to be made out of fabric. I'm gonna let it slide though. Then we have here claws and paws. I think, yeah, okay. This is just the pet den item shop. I think a lot of people forget this exists, but it's one of my favorite den stores anyway, especially the duck pond. I think that's very cute. Good for nature dens as well. But then we got all the dog stuff here, and I think that's done it with a Pondale. So we have Jamal Township now. We have Jamart Furniture, or Jamart Clothing first anyway. Now, I actually do need to buy every variant of these anyway, because I genuinely want every variant of these because I haven't bought every variant of them yet. So I'm just gonna do that one while I'm doing this video. Hope y'all don't mind. I'm kind of concerned I'm getting close to the 100 limit or 1,000 limit of clothing though with this. I don't know if I own every backpack yet, so I need to check that because okay, I didn't buy the backpacks yet. But as for the other Play Wild celebration items, I guess that's what they're called. I'm gonna leave them because I already have them all. Okay, I already bought all of these off camera. Okay, you're just gonna take my word that I have them. Matter of fact, you don't have to take my word because I have them here. As you can see, all the raccoon tails here alongside two random ones here, or the curly antlers, or even the all the dragon wings, which oh, I just noticed these kind of match with this rim set that I forgot I had on here. Oh wait, there's these wings that match better. Never mind. Okay, enough distractions. So we will start here at the Spartan helmet, I guess. We've got the rhino helmet. Rhino helmets used to be one of my favorite items in the game, and I mean they still are, even though they're not rare anymore. But I remember back in the day, you know, yellow rhinos, pink rhinos, they were like some of the rarest items in the game. And then the Forgotten Desert came along and just ruined everything. And speaking of ruining everything, my inventory is getting full, so we're gonna have to start recycling some of these items, which is never gonna be fun. And my inventory's full. Okay, we're just gonna cycle all these, yeah, because yeah, get that ugly polar bear hat out of here. We got some other items here. We got all the Epic Wonders items. Recycle all these these. Looking over at my recorder, it says I'm at 20 minutes right now. So yeah, okay. I think I started with the snow boots because these I already bought off camera because I just needed the rims because I forgot to buy them. All right, we can recycle 85 items and there we go. Okay, back onto it. The grass claws, floppy hat. Yeah, we got the big skull here. Fun fact, I think that was legitimately the first item I ever bought in the game way back in the beta, which speaking of the beta, I'm gonna have a few videos out talking about, you know, the beta days and like, you know, just stuff like that for the 15th anniversary of the game. I don't know if that video has already went out or if they've already been out by the time this video goes out because I don't know when this video is going up. Just to be clear, my upload schedule is not existent at this point and my planning stages of videos are all over the place. I plan like 5 different videos at once and it ends up to be a little chaotic sometimes in the order they actually go out. But yeah, the high top sneakers, the flag, staple back item, and the gazelle horns. Also another tragic item lost to the Forgotten Desert prize pool, and then animaljam just rips it and just puts it in the clothing store next few weeks after they did that. Very brutal. Or I think I was like 9 years old. No, I don't think I was 9 years old. I might have been 9 years old. I don't know how old I was when that happened, but I just remember it being like a really like detrimental moment anyway. I think they actually did that because somebody managed to social engineer animaljam back then into getting like green gazelles and white gazelles and light orange gazelles alongside like black mink angel helmets and stuff like that. Like very, very rare items, to say the least, that didn't exist in the game actually. They weren't existing in the game. The only way I think you could see white gazelles back then was through Best Dressed, I think, for like a short period of time. There we go. We have Jamart clothing done, and now we have Jamart furniture. We have all these ugly dog items. No offense to people that like these, but not my cup of tea. But the honey items though, the bee items, I think these are pretty nice. These are pretty cool. And I think all of these items came alongside the schoolhouse den, because I mean, I think a lot of you are probably back at school at this point. If not, you're returning to school probably soon, which good luck to you. I think school usually starts like around the end of August and start of September for people. I'm not in school anymore, so not a concern for me, to say the least. But also, just to go back here, I always thought this item was so weird because I just randomly put the animaljam logo on it. I don't know why. It's like, I think it's like the only item they did it with, or one of the very few items they've done it with. Always very confusing, but we got all these other items here to buy up. Like actually taking an extra look at some of the items, like you can really tell like they were on something when making some of these. But here we have the contest items that they did in 2021. I always thought these were pretty cool. I always liked this one, the little blinky plushie on it, which as a recording, I think it was just announced like earlier today that they're doing like another makeshift plushie alongside the sugar glider they just did. So it's like a choice of a phantom or a blinky plushie, which I'm just going to say preemptively that the phantom's going to win. Okay, I don't think many people are too big fans of Blinky. Maybe that's a little harsh to say, but you know, it's like a company mascot and most people nowadays aren't the biggest fan of the company. But you know what, I would buy a Blinky plushie if that means anything to any Wildworks representative that might be watching this. We have all the grocery items. I'm pretty sure this was like it got voted in as like a dead item contest. I'm pretty sure back in the day. I'm pretty surprised they never took it out of stores. And then we have these stained glass items. I always think the stained glass items are pretty nice. There is a few other ones that I don't think are in stores. I think there was like one with like a dragon on it. I don't remember that when that was released or where it was released, but if I remember to edit it in the video, I'll throw it on screen. This is like another den item contest I'm thinking, which is like the mechanical stuff. This is one with like the dragon. Yeah, it is the dragon alongside the egg. You know, those are pretty big sellers back in the day. I'll tell you that much. We got the croquet set. Tell me one kid that knows what croquet is and I'll give you $5 because I don't think many people know what croquet is. We got the starter items. For some reason you can buy them. I remember back when they actually introduced these items onto new accounts. I don't think you could buy them initially. Same with like the blue rug and the brown table. You couldn't initially buy those for the longest time. Like the only way you could get them was just by making a new account and then trading it over. And speaking of that, there's like one item in the store, in the new Jammer store that's available that you can't usually buy in this Jamart furniture store, and that's the seasonal tree, which, you know, a lot of people do like. You know, it's a good item. And it used to be in Jamart furniture before they just, you know, transitioned it out. Yeah, okay, whatever. But then they just randomly put it in the new Jammer store again, and then that was it. They just never brought it back to Jamart Furniture after that, despite every other new Jammer item being available in Jamart Furniture. But I mean, Animal Jam, they have weird choices with some of their items, as I said. But that aside, we bought every item in Jamart Furniture. Thank the heavens. And oh my god, I completely forgot about Soul Arcade. Oh my god. There's so many items in this godforsaken store as well. And you know, I'm thinking we're gonna go under a mill here. I think that's like actually pretty much guaranteed. We're also getting a little laggy now that I'm in here. But apologies if I'm like sounding a little stuffy or a little sick anyway, because you know, it's nearing the end of summer, but it's still summer anyway. Okay, I thought there was way more Soul Arcade items. My bad for over exaggerating. Well, anyway, as I was ranting, oh, there's this story as well, I forgot. As I was ranting about summer, I have pretty bad hay fever a lot of the time, so I get super stuffy and like, you know, headaches and stuff. So all that gosh darn pollen in the air, but I think that's gonna do it because we're skipping over diamond items because no thank you. Next we have the Chamber of Knowledge, which is all the alpha statues and some portals anyway. The Mystery Emporium, it used to be one of the best shops in the game back in the day, you know. Had like some of the stone items, you know, kind of the items they took model after in the 2012 leap year party, you know, those kind of green items anyway. Yeah, you can see them right here actually. The skinny lamp, the floor lamp and stuff, just in like orange. Such cool items in my opinion. And I think the telescope and the table with the orb was like sold back here back in the day. And I think River Race was actually sold in there for a period of time back in the day as well. I went to the wrong shop there, but next we have the Forgotten Archive. This is also a pretty good store. Forgot the Zeos mask was sold in here. I thought that was not in stores anymore. But the items here are pretty good. The armbands and the amulets anyway are pretty good. And we're nearing my inventory limit. Once again, we have one item left. Isn't that terrific? And I think next I will just go to Kimbara just to keep consistency. And we have the bandage here, so we have to free up space. Yeah, let's do that now. All these items just result in 12,000 gems. Not a whole lot. Kind of feel scammed. 86 items. Wow. Okay. We get on with the show here. All these hospital items, which role players loved back in the day. You know, if there is still role players around, I'm sure they still love them. Then we have Outback Imports. These were pretty cool items, you know, stone carved items. These were pretty cool when they released back in the day. It's fun to make items with this, and also the Coral Canyons floor and wall, which is so random that Coral Canyons got the floor and walling, but like no other land in the game got a floor and walling based around them. It's also kind of weird that they've never made another floor and wall since like way back then. Like give some the other lands some love, you know? But I don't know. It's probably like a lot. It's probably not too much work where it's like difficult, but it probably requires more work than just like an average den item that they don't want to do. But speaking of that, because you know, there's been like a lot of talk about, you know, Animal Jam and their updates recently. You know, I made a video about that like not too long ago. And why did that just change colors? Did anybody else see that? Or am I just tripping? I don't know. Whatever. Well, a little birdie told me that Animal Jam's gonna have a pretty big update anyway for September, or at least something good anyway that people might like. But you know, it was told, like I said it was, by the way, in my video, like the more engagement they see, the more they will actually are likely to like spend the time to actually update the game more. And that's why I think they have been updating the game a lot more over the summer anyway, even though wild weekends are probably a lot easier for them to do. You know, it's you know, the engagement of the game is like the #1 priority in why any developer would update the game. So, you know, just keep talking, you know, that type of thing. Okay, all of these items are changing color as I'm clicking on them, by the way. I don't know why that's happening, but it's kind of tripping me out. We got the Poseidon statues and the Venus statues. It's kind of funny. This probably go good with like the Lost Ruin den. It's an underwater den, which, you know, probably none of you own, because probably about 4 people out there that like underwater stuff, which somebody did actually tell me they spammed the ever-living hell out of the underwater, or the little help icons around the game anyway, to make sure they actually read suggestions, and people were like spamming it with underwater stuff. And lo and behold, a few months ago we saw like the underwater wild weekend stuff and whatnot, like a bunch of wild underwater stuff actually. So, you know, maybe that's another thing, you know, if you want to be heard, you know, use those in-game suggestion purple question mark icons like around in stores or around lands. I know one of them is in the diamond shop, so make sure to do that, because I'm pretty sure they read them. I don't imagine they're just there for show anymore. You know, they might check it once in a blue moon. I don't know how often they check them, but I'm sure they read them eventually at the very least. Where did my dolphin go? It just disappeared. Oh, okay. Game is very glitchy right now. I don't know why. The outfit I'm making here is absolutely disgusting. So I'm not, you know, maybe my dolphin should disappear again. But I always love the underwater section on this game. And fun fact, if you don't know, the underwater items, they have a separate inventory. So you can have 1,000 underwater items and 1,000 clothing items. Animaljam really overestimated how popular the underwater section of the game would be, but you know, it's there if you want it. So technically you have 2,000 slots of inventory space, just so you know. Next here we have the deep blue. I think one of these is, yeah, okay, I already have all these. And there's the marine marvels. I always think it's pretty cute that they have like their own special names for shops here and stuff. But I think the only other thing would be, you know, party shops, which video is almost 40 minutes long, by the way, recording. I'm not going to every shop to buy every item. Okay, I bought every item from every shop here, but I'm not buying every shop of every party and stuff like that, because that would legitimately take probably close to 2 hours. And you know, I'll put one of each item from each store in this den just as a memento to say, yeah, I did that. You know, I'll just choose one random item from each store to do this for. Put the gem breaker one down here. I think a lot of people would like the gem breaker one. You know, this was a fun way to spend my hour, I guess. I'm not gonna do sturdy tapial because that's just kind of basic. I guess we'll choose maybe the dragon. We'll choose the dragon for gem art clothing. It's gonna be so satisfying recycling all of these items, but this might have been like the most wasteful video I've done, that's for sure. We almost skipped over the pet items here. Choose the duck pond for that one. Choose the big old phantom for epic wonders. Choose a little rainbow for the art studio. Gotta go with the rack of rare clothing for that eagle shop. Choose the panda one. Yeah, this one looks pretty good. Next, I guess we'll go with the sprinklers. As for the flags, we'll just go with Ireland, you know, born and raised here, might as well represent it, I guess. I might be the only person to ever say that. Go with the lemur banner, because I think that one looks the cutest anyway. Actually, we'll go with the kangaroo one. The reason I'm choosing the kangaroo one is just because it looks like the AJ Jump art style so much. I don't know why, but it does. That's what it reminds me of. And here we have the last shop here, which we will choose the fossil on display. So here we go. One item from each shop in the game in my den, and we can just recycle all the rest of them now. Thank God. Oh my god, finally, I reached the end. I'm not gonna lie, I think that took legitimately 10 minutes to like scroll all the way down. 647 items, which is not accounting for the 30 that are placed in my den. So 677 items that I bought for den items anyway for this video. Oh my god. Literally froze my game. There's that many items being recycled from my inventory. And it didn't even recycle every item. Oh my god. How did these items somehow circumvent the recycling? Okay, there we go. Last 12 items gone. There we have it. An hour later, an hour in total, I finally finished this. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. I don't know why you watched me waste about an hour buying Animaljam items, but I applaud you. We've reached the conclusion. So first up, how much did this actually cost? Roughly 555,343 gems for all the items I purchased along the way. That is including with the items I recycled or whatever. I did make sure to do the math, which, you know, is a lot less than I would thought it would be. But if you were to buy every item and every variant as well, it'd probably be a lot more, obviously. But speaking of items, I bought 842 unique items across this little video as well. So technically you can put all of these on a member account. However, if you're a non-member, you're not going to be able to buy one of every item in the store anyway, because your inventory will be too small. But you're not going to be able to do that anyway, because there's member items in the stores as well. As for if you were able to buy one of every item and in every color as well and fit it onto one account, it would probably be close, but I'm gonna have to give an estimate and probably say yes. And while this video was stupid enough. I'm not stupid enough to buy every variant alongside every item in the game. Okay, that's out of my stupid expertise, I guess. I don't know. Big thank you to the members, as always. All your guys' names are going through the list here. You want to support the channel and fund stupid ideas like this, then just hit the join button down below. I will have a lot more videos out on the way. I took a little breather here over the last few weeks, but I have a lot of videos and a lot of projects in the work. You'll see a lot of those come out over the next few weeks, months or so. But otherwise, that'll conclude this right here. Hope you all enjoy. I hope all of you enjoyed, even if it was just me yapping for most of it. But catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.